All right, let's talk about a motorcycle that's been turning a lot of heads. It's this awesome blend of old school cool and totally modern performance, the Yamaha XSR 155. There's more to this bike than meets the eye, so let's jump right in.
Okay, first things first. There's a good chance you might have typed Yamaha SRX 155 into a search bar to get here. And if you did, you're definitely not the only one. But there's a tiny little mix-up we need to clear up.
Yep, it's a super easy mistake to make. The bike that's actually been making all the noise is this one, the XSR 155. So now that we've got the name sorted out, let's dig into what makes this motorcycle so special.
So, what is this bike's whole deal? What's the big idea behind it? Well, it all really boils down to its core identity, which is wrapped up in this one cool-sounding style. And that style is called neo-retro. Now I know, it kind of sounds like just another marketing term, right? But for this bike, it's the entire philosophy. Just think of it like this. You get that amazing, classic, old-school vibe on the outside, but underneath, it is packed with all the modern performance and technology you'd expect from a brand new bike.
So, how exactly does Yamaha pull off that neo-retro look so well? Let's break down some of the key design choices that really scream retro when you look at the XSR 155.
This is where that vintage DNA really shines. You've got that totally iconic round headlight, but surprise, it's a modern, bright LED. Then you have that beautifully sculpted teardrop fuel tank that just feels pure classic. And it's all tied together with this simple, clean, single-piece seat that really completes that timeless look.
But like we said, this bike is also very neo, the modern half of the equation. Hidden beneath all that vintage style is a heart of pure modern engineering. So let's check out the engine and the tech that's actually powering this thing.
And wow, the spec sheet here is pretty darn impressive. It's rocking the same proven 155cc liquid-cooled engine that you'll find in Yamaha's super popular R15 and MT15. That means you get a really punchy 18.4 PS of power. Plus, it's hooked up to a smooth 6-speed gearbox that even has a slipper clutch, which is a fancy way of saying it helps keep your ride smooth and safe even when you're downshifting aggressively.
Now, one of the real magic tricks in this engine is something called VVA, or Variable Valve Actuation. So what does that actually do for you, the rider? Well, in the simplest terms, it gives you the best of both worlds. You get tons of power for getting around town at low speeds, and then a really solid kick of power when you get out on the open road. It's awesome.
Okay, so the looks are on point, and the engine is solid. But how does all of that actually feel when the rubber meets the road? What's it like to live with this bike every day? Now, this number right here might be one of the most important things to know about this bike's personality. 137 kilograms. For a motorcycle that looks this substantial, that is incredibly light. And that low weight is a huge benefit when it comes to daily commuting. It makes the bike just ridiculously easy to handle, to weave through traffic, and to squeeze into tight parking spots. Combine that with a really comfortable riding position, and you've got yourself a fantastic machine for the city.
All right, we've gone through its identity, the design, the tech, and how it feels to ride. So, what's the final verdict? Let's line up the pros, the cons, and of course, that all-important price tag.
So on the plus side, you've got a style that is absolutely unique. It just stands out from the crowd. You get that powerful, proven engine with the brilliant VVA tech, and it's super lightweight. Now, for the trade-offs, well, the seat for a passenger on the back is a little small, so it might not be the best for two-up riding. And for a 150-ish cc bike, it does come with a bit of a premium price.
And speaking of that price, here's the bottom line. You can expect the ex-showroom cost to be somewhere in the ballpark of 1.49 to 1.60 lakh rupees. Of course, this can change a little bit depending on your city and the exact model you choose.
So there you have it, the full picture of the Yamaha XSR 155. Now that we know what it is, what it does, and what it costs, there's really one big question left to ask, isn't there?
And that is the key question. How does this bike stack up against its competition? Because you could get a bigger bike like the Royal Enfield Hunter 350, or maybe something with a similar price but different focus, like the TVS Apache RTR 164V. So is the unique style and all that tech worth it for you? Well, that's the choice you'll have to make.